I'm TL and welcome to Cooking Love. Today I'm going to be making a classic French bread loaf, and I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be doing a baguette style or one of those round boule styles. We'll find out. But let's start with the dough. I'm starting with 5 1/4 cups of King Arthur flour. I've got 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and I have 1 teaspoon of sea salt. It calls for 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and I just was afraid to put that much salt in here. So we'll see. 2 cups of lukewarm water. And I'm gonna stir this up. And incorporate all these ingredients. All right, I've got the dough. I'm gonna be kneading it for about 3 minutes. On a floured surface. I've oiled the bowl. I'm placing the dough in the oiled bowl. And I'm gonna cover it for 4 days. This is gonna go in the refrigerator. And I'll see you then. It's been 4 days since I've fermented my French bread dough in the refrigerator. And I just took it out. I put it onto a floured surface. And I started cutting pieces off. Now I took 10% of this dough and I put it into a bowl, an oiled bowl, and covered it with saran wrap. That's my starter. I'm gonna put that into the refrigerator for 3 more days. Now I'm making dinner rolls. So a dinner roll could be anywhere from 50 grams of weight, or a large roll, like a sandwich roll, would be 90 grams of weight. So I'm gonna be taking the pieces that I've cut of the dough and measuring them. Needs a little more. That's probably too much. You really have to go a little bit at a time. Okay, so there we go. I have 90 grams. I'm gonna take this off, and I'm going to shape this by just using the palm of my hand and circling, and I'm touching it very lightly. I don't wanna press too hard. And when I'm done, I'm going to be putting this onto a baking sheet. I decided in the end to do dinner rolls instead of a baguette or a different shaped loaf because it's just easier. I plan to freeze the bread and we can pull out 1 roll at a time when we want. And during this quarantine period, that just seemed to be the easiest thing for us, instead of freezing the entire loaf and taking out a piece and cutting it, or I guess you could pre-cut it and freeze it, but the rolls just sounded like it was gonna be something easier for us at this moment. But another time I will definitely do a loaf of French bread. The dinner rolls are a lot of fun because you can stuff them with different things, different ingredients. Today I'm going to be stuffing them with a combination of Swiss and Gruyere cheese and onions and butter, but you can stuff them with Kalamata olives, roasted garlic. You can even go sweet instead of savory and stuff it with a pat of dark chocolate. While I'm forming my dinner rolls, I have a pizza stone in the oven. I'm heating it. So the oven is at 550 degrees. As soon as it gets up to that temperature, I'm going to be putting in a 9 by 13 pan filled with water. And I'm going to be lowering the temperature to 450. I'm trying to create steam in the oven. I've pre-shaped my dinner rolls, and now I'm gonna flatten it just slightly. And I've got 3 bowls here filled with Gruyere and Swiss cheese, pats of butter, and a finely chopped up green onion. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dough, I'm going to put a little bit of cheese, a little bit of the green onions, and a pat of butter. Oh, it's a little big. And I'm going to fold the dough over that, like so. I'm going to place it down, seam side down. And I'm going to gently roll using my palm like I did before. And I might have to just squeeze it together a little bit more. I really want to get that incorporated. I don't want it to come out in the baking. That's the bottom. I'm going to put this back onto the baking sheet. Do another one, slightly press it down. Trying to get this so you can see it on camera. Put in just a little bit of the cheese. A little bit of the green onion. A pat of butter. Roll the sides up like so. Turn it over and gently massage it with the palm of your hand, like so. And that will go back onto my baking sheet. I've made 12 rolls. I'm going to do this with each one. My final step is to score the dinner rolls. I do not have a razor blade, so I'm using a serrated knife. I'm now placing the rolls in the oven on the pizza stone, and I'm going to be baking it for about 15 to 20 minutes. I wanted to give you a glimpse of what's happening in this oven. The water bath is bubbling and creating the steam, and the rolls are really coming along nicely. Hot out of the oven, I'm going to get my taster and see how they taste. I'm excited. I just want to cut one of these open. It's nice and crusty on the outside, it's still hot. You can see the inside of this yummy goodness. Okay, there's nothing like hot, out of the oven, fresh bread.
It smells so good.
Perfect.
I don't know if you could hear that crunch, but it crunched so nicely when you take a bite out of it.
It's nice and crusty on the outside and just perfectly soft on the inside with just the right amount of air, like a good French roll should be.
I've got a nice piece of garlic right in there, garlic herb. So
Scallion.
delicious. Yeah, exactly. So good.
Enjoy.